Hello students, I hope you are all fine. We will begin day 3's lesson in ninth English medium mathematics chapter Introduction to Euclidean Geometry. Today is the third day in Euclidean Geometry chapter. First, let us recall what we have studied in the second day's lesson. We are discussing about contributions in ancient India, Nile Valley civilization, Egyptian civilization and other countries' civilization, how mathematics took its growth. Then we came across Euclid's contribution to mathematics. Then we come to know about his book called Elements. Then we are discussing about Euclidean's definitions, axioms and postulates. Among the 23 definitions he has discussed, we listed 7 definitions. We went through them one by one. Among them, about point, line, straight line, surface, then plane surface, all those points discussed. Then we discussed about Euclid's postulates and axioms. Then we began to discuss about Euclid's axioms. There are 7 axioms of Euclid. First one, things which are equal to same thing are equal to one another. Every day, whatever we discuss, when I tell you to copy, you all should copy. When I tell you to bring your notes, I'll give timings. At that time, you should bring and show the notes to me. One day in a week, we will give time for you. At that time, you should bring your notes, submit, get it signed and take it back. The days will be announced later. So everyone keep up to date notes with you. Second one, if equals are added to equals, the wholes are equal. Third one, if equals are subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. Fourth one, things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. Fifth one, whole is greater than part. Sixth one, things which are double of the same thing are equal to one another. And the last one we discussed, things which are halves of the same thing are equal to one another. Now let us begin third day's lesson. I hope you are all ready with the geometry instruments, scale, pencil and pen. Today we will discuss Euclid's postulate. Right side heading, Euclid's postulates. We are already aware of these facts. They are universally accepted truths. A straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. Whenever we draw a straight line, we will take a scale and we will draw a line. Whenever take the measurement 0 to 5. 0 is 1 point, 5 is 1 point. Between them we are drawing line. When you extend left hand side, right hand side, it will become a straight line. So, from one point to another point, one straight line can be drawn. A straight line, everyone write down. First postulate, a straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. A straight line may be drawn from any one point to any other point. We have to draw a figure for this. We will draw a straight line and at the ends we will mark 2 points as P and Q. Draw it with the scale and pencil. All the drawings should be drawn using scale and pencil. Everyone completed? Shall we copy the next one? A terminated line can be produced indefinitely. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely. Suppose you have a line segment of length, let us assume 7 centimeter. From left hand side, whatever the size of the paper you have, you can go on extend it. From right hand side to the end of the paper, you can go on extend it. So indefinitely, depending upon the plane that is available, you can extend it in both the sides. Draw line segment at its ends, draw dotted line and show arrow mark so that it is continuing in both the sides. Line segment AB, extend it in left hand side, extend it in right hand side. Show arrow mark at their ends. So 2 postulates we have completed. Daily complete the work that we are discussing. Don't keep it pending. It will be burden for you later. Third postulate, a circle can be drawn. A circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. Mark a point using compass. Draw a circle, show its radius. Everyone completed? Shall we write the next postulate? All right angles are equal to one another. Do you all agree? Yes. All right angles are equal to one another. Their arms size may differ. One may have short arm, another may have bigger arm. But angle between the arms is 90 degree only. All right angles are equal to one another. Next postulate, if a straight line falling on two straight lines, if a straight line falling on two straight lines makes the interior angles on the same side, of it taken together is less than two right angles, then the two straight lines if produced indefinitely meet on that side on which sum of angles is less than two right angles. Sum of angles is less than two right angles. What it means, let us assume L1 and L2 not parallel, somewhere extended, they are going to intersect each other. Such lines, when they are there, if you draw a transversal PQ cutting at P and Q, can you see four angles formed here? 1, 2, then this side 2. Four angles formed here. Among them, on the same side of the triangle, transversal, angles are 1 and 2. If we add 1 and 2, their measurement is less than 180, and in other side, two angles are there. If you add, their measurement is more than 180. Suppose this is 70 degree, this may be 100 degree or 90 degree. If this is 80 degree, this may be 70 degree or 60 degree. Angle 1 and 2. Total is less than 180. That means in the same side, these two lines will intersect each other. In the figure also you can see, no? It's bent and it's bent. When you produce somewhere here, it will come and join. Isn't it? Whereas if you extend this side, it will go on this side. And this will go on this side. They will never meet in the other side. Where they will meet, where the sum of the angles is less than 180, in the same side, lines will meet one another. You just understand the meaning. No need to by heart this postulate. Since we have to list it out, we are listing it. That's it. Okay. Angle 1 and 2 is less than 180. Therefore, they will meet on the left hand side of PQ. Shall we copy next question? State whether the following statements are true or false. State whether the following statements are true or false. Give reasons. Only one line can pass through a single point. Only one line can pass through a single point. Is this sentence is true or false? Obviously false. Because if you have one point through which many straight lines can be drawn, isn't it? I have drawn only 4 straight lines. Many more such straight lines can be drawn passing through the point. False. Many number of lines can pass through a point. Right answer. False. Many number of lines can pass through a point. Then draw one horizontal line, mark one point on it, then draw one perpendicular line, then intersecting 2 more lines. Then you will get a figure like this. First horizontal, then perpendicular, then X mark. Everyone completed? Next, second one. There are infinite number of lines which passes through 2 distinct points. There are infinite number of lines which passes through 2 distinct points. Suppose you have 2 points. Passing through them, how many straight lines can be drawn? Only one. If you have only one point through which you can draw many straight lines, here also, here also. But passing through 2 points, only one straight line can be drawn. So what about the statement? Is it true or false? It is false, right? False. How many straight lines can be drawn? Only one, right answer. Between 2 distinct points, only one straight line can be drawn. Draw the diagram. First horizontal one straight line you draw, 10 centimeter or 8 centimeter. Then mark 2 points on it. Then one perpendicular on one point, then into mark. Same way, perpendicular on the second point, then into mark, X mark. Everyone completed? Next, a terminated line can be produced. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely on both sides. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely on both sides. Earlier also we discussed about the same sentence, isn't it? Can we produce it in both the sides? Yes. Therefore, the statement is true. True. Then draw one line segment. 6 to 8 centimeter. Extend it left hand side with the dotted line. Extend it right hand side with the dotted line. Show arrow mark in both the sides. Next one. If two circles are equal, then their radii are equal. Then their radii are equal. Do you agree? Two congruent circles, their radius also obviously equal. Therefore, true. What should be our answer? Congruent circles will have equal radii. Congruent circles will have equal radii. Then 2 or 3 circles with the same radius. Last one. If AB is equal to PQ, PQ is equal to XY, then AB is equal to XY. Let this be AB, let this be PQ, let this be XY. AB and PQ are same. PQ and XY are same. Therefore, AB and XY are same. True or false? True. Why? Which axiom? Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Right reason. Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Draw 3 line segments of equal length. Name one as AB, second one as PQ, third one as XY. This much is sufficient for today. Go through the sentences and the matter discussed in the class. Complete the notes daily. Work out the sums that are discussed in the class. I will meet you tomorrow. Until then, bye.